And good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Somebody wouldn't mind giving me a little audio check. Let me know that you can hear me. That would be marvelous. We're being joined today by Mr. Nick's Picks coffee mug. I might look like I'm listening, but in my head, I'm picking locks. Perfect logo. I think my wife would agree 100% with that. Hates it. Drives me her nuts. Let's see. Autofocus. Audio sound all right. Video look all right. I think we're cooking with gas. It has begun. How's everybody doing today? Ready to enjoy another wonderful day in the neighborhood? Lima Chardy. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I don't know where we're going to go today. Hell, I never know where we're going to go. Downhill, usually. But honestly, that is part of the fun. I've got a few things I've been tinkering with lately. These being one of them. I found the model online for these, but when I printed them out, they didn't come anywhere near fitting the locks or the picks they were supposed to fit. Let me just move this out of the way. I am wondrous. Let's see. Sparrows. That's what I'm after. Move you out of the way. So what it is, 3D printed handle for the Sparrows single layer picks. I had to do quite a bit of modifying in order to get it there. But, got to try and remove a brake caliper later. That ought to be fun. I love working on brakes. So we can drive the car again. So I worked on these. They're just a press fit. They're not magnetic. So that allows them. Let me go here. Dig out. Here's a 44 Delta on my dog leg picks. And as you can see, these others considerably thinner because there's no magnets in there, right? I love the magnetic handle. Do not get me wrong. But one of the things that I really like with the Sparrows kit is just how thin it is, right? It's easy to just throw in a little package. It isn't going anywhere. It's great. And having one 3D printed handle like that, I can make that fit, and it doesn't really make it too much thicker. So it's easy to haul around. And then it's easy enough to just pry apart and change out and put a different pick in there. If I'm going to do an extended picking session, right? Short-term stuff, it's fine like this. I'm not a fan of the single layer handle, but it's fine. But a little longer session, it's nice to have a handle. So that's why I was playing with that. And it actually works pretty well. Not too shabby. The other one I'm working on, which same thing, man. I don't know what it is for me anyway. I grab 3D print files and I mess with them. And they're never sized right. So then I have to go back and I have to edit and change and tweak. And let me grab one of these bad boys. So the other one is this. This one does take magnets. I haven't put any magnets in there yet because I'm not done modifying the print to get it right. But this one is designed to be a pressure fit for the thick to give you a little bit more of a handle for using them, but yet still leave the artwork exposed so you can see the beautiful pick, right? But as you can see, I can't get the handle in there. I mean, it's tight. So I need to take it in and edit it, resize it just a little bit. I need to measure these holes and see if they're going to work for the magnets that I've got. I might need to adjust those a little bit as well, but we'll get that figured out. But I think that'll be a neat little, in the end, it'll be like that all the way in. But give you a handle. So, yeah, kind of cool stuff. Kind of cool stuff. Put that back in its little display rack next to my other gorgeous picks. How about you guys? What you guys been working on? I had to repair my 3D printed padlock key. My glue that I was using to hold the top part of the key in came loose working on these doggone Peerless locks or handcuffs that I've got. So I had to redo that. Hopefully it'll stick this time. Hopefully. So, I was playing around. You saw me pull these out of my bag. These are the bags that I carry. I was messing around with what all will fit in there. So here's some tools that I got a hold of. These kind of go with my kit. Little flip out pliers. It's got screwdrivers on it. This one got a bottle opener. You never know. And then it's got a large straight, large Phillips, a Torx, and a hex head. And then there is also a small straight. There's a small Phillips. There's just a small punch and a little knife blade. Challenge locks and dimples. Yeah, I have a challenge lock here that I need to get after again at some point, but I have been focusing my attentions on trying to get through this doggone Medico. Well, let's see. What else do I have in here? There's my leashy picks, multi-pick, bypass tool, dimple locks, and then I had both sets of sparrows in there. That's what I like about those, right? I can organize my crap when I'm traveling. Just grab a bag, throw what I want in there, and go. And then with the Velcro, label them, right? So that one, my picks. That one is locks. Lots and lots of locks. We're going to take that thing out because I got questions I'm hoping you folks can help me with. We'll maybe grab him out. We'll grab a couple locks out to have for today. We'll grab him out. Let's see, what else do we want to mess with? We might grab him and him. We'll set him to the side. We can grab more if we need more. Mo if we need mo. Man, I tell you, I've built 2 challenge locks now, and I have felt like they were terrible. It's been fun, but they are what they are, right? It's the hardest part for me is making nice looking pins. I make pins that halfway function. Actually, my second challenge lock is in Croatia right now with Mr. Krolama. That is what I think is really cool about that whole thing. Just how far and wide that stuff travels. It is craziness to me. Truly crazy. Let's see, I need these back out. I opened my first challenge lock. It's actually right here. Gravity. I have another one here. Are you winning, son? I believe that is Nick Vitzlock. I haven't started on that one yet because, like I said, I've been focusing on this freaking killer of a Medico. I've been progressive pinning that thing. At 4 pins, I can open it pretty consistent. I've added the 5th pin, and it's kicking my rear. So it is what it is. All right. Let's see. Question I have for you guys. Have any of you used these wafer jigglers from Sparrows? That's it. Came in my EOD kit. I've heard people talk about how wonderful they are. I have yet been able to open a single freaking wafer lock with these. I just don't get it. I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong, if there's just a certain technique to these things. But I've heard some people really brag them up and say they are the greatest wafer jigglers known to man. I have this set as well from Southern Specialties. And these, man, you may as well just have the key. I mean, there it is. Look at that. Here's one that I got. This one actually. This is kind of neat. So it's a lot of jiggling required. Man, it ain't with those. With this one especially, you throw that into a wafer lock, and it's you. Like I said, you may as well just have the key. You just stuff it in, and it opens. Everything I've hit with that thing just opens. But the lock fell out of my desk. It's broke. So I figured, perfect. I can just hang on to that. Show us some goodness. And allow me to be able to use that as a demo lock to kind of show how wafer locks look and how they work. So I'm going to hang on to that. But yeah, these dumb things, I don't know. I'm not loving them. Play, relax, really a joke? What, Zoe? What? You're messing with my head there. I'm trying to work that one out, dude. Throwing me for a loop-de-loop-de. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Dotslock's latest challenge that he has out there. It sounds like fun. I'm planning on trying to knock that one out this weekend. The challenge is to pick 7 locks in 7 different ways. So I've been going through trying to think, well, how am I going to do that? So I was thinking, let's see. How about we zip a lock? What is the stream about? This stream is about lock picking and lock sport and whatever the heck else happens to come to mind. So I was thinking I could zip a lock, rake a lock, pick a lock, jiggle a lock. Let's see, what else? Maybe do a dimple lock? No sleep in the last 24 hours. Ew, yuck. I had this all lined out, the 7 ways I was going to do it. Oh, a bypass of a lock with a shove knife. Maybe a bypass with a American bypass tool. I think that gets me there. Maybe. Break out the old Mindy. Pick a Mindy. That's a little different. I actually built my own tool for picking that one. So I think that one will be kind of fun. Is that an actual sport? Man, I tell you, the training that goes into that sport is absolutely insane. Got my first professional troller. All right, who was it who told me they love trolling? You've done that challenge now, Urgus? Yeah, I haven't knocked that one out. Do it the easy way, drill it. I actually have one that I need to do that on. I have one of these 6835s that I don't know what the heck has happened to it. But the key is actually sitting at an angle, about like this. So you can't put a key in there. I can't pick it because the pins don't move because they're not lined up with the Bible. So I figure I'll drill the pin out so I can pull the core and put it back together in the right way. Luckily, I have some extra cores so I can replace it. Yeah, it looks like a fun challenge, so I thought I'd try and hit that one up. Right? Where's Nola when you need him? Where's Nola when you need him? I'm just figuring this is probably Mr. Let's see, Mr. Labs, because he told me he likes to be a troll. So, is that you out there trolling, dude? And then we've got the uber deep dog legs. I still have some of the original ones that we prototyped. That I actually kind of like this one. I like it. It works pretty well. But those deeps, man. They be deep. Chat acting up for anyone? Well, I don't know. What do you mean by acting up? I haven't seen anything yet. But that's my challenge to you. Somebody explain these. Do not get it. Now, all right, let's see. What shall we play with today? I post, the next post will not send. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I figure I'll maybe find a video out there somewhere that shows them. I just thought I'd see if anybody here was familiar and had used them. And because, like I said, I've heard guys saying, man, they are the greatest ones ever invented. They don't be for me. Not sure why, but, you know. I'm a pocket picker in real life. Oh. I'm not sure what you mean by in real life. I'm not out there picking locks in video games, if that's what you're talking about. I don't go that far out of the way. That's kind of what I'm gathering, but man, I've tried that. I have ran through those things from one end to the other. And like I said, I haven't opened a single freaking wafer lock with them. They're driving me insane. Maybe, but man, these old ones just work. I mean, they just work exceptionally well. I need to learn a little bit better what I'm doing with these too. I don't know if I have any locks that I can use these on, that I can comb. I think I heard the Master 140 is supposed to be. Anybody else know? Is that right? That one, Masterline V1 V-Line 4140. Well, they're very solid. I like the kind of the length. I just wish that they actually worked. Could be. Could be. Like I said, traditional ones just work for me. Work extremely well. There. Yeah. Don't know. Someday I'll figure them out. Understand them. But these things, I don't know if I'll ever understand those things. From the cone picks, as they run the risk of brick on the lock. The cone picks. What cone picks? You talking about the Mindy? I have actually bricked one of these before. That's why I turned around and I made my own tool for picking it to try and prevent me from doing that. And I haven't bricked one since. So there's that. Boo, boo. Boo, 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 boo. Link is at the top up there if anybody feels like hopping in. Join me in this lovely adventure today. I like raking. I enjoy raking. Raking's kind of fun. I'm not very good at it. I can rake white belt and some yellow belt locks. Nothing beyond that. I could see that, Zoe, because you're really compressing those pins in order to shove everything up above. Voice recognition rarely works well for me. I end up saying all kinds of stupid shit, so I try and stay away from that. But then again, I'm usually on a computer, so I can't do voice anyway. Because UE2B don't really support that, you know? I've got an inexpensive dimple lock coming. I think that'll be here tomorrow. So I can play with that Sparrow's dimple lock pick that I won. See if I can pick anything with it. There we go. Kind of like this one, this 5200. It's a nice little lock. You know, it's the exact same thing as the American 1100, just with a steel body. I just like the feel of them. Some of these super duper lightweight locks, it's like, really? Is there anything even there? Yeah, see, me and raking, we have a love-hate relationship. Although, this doggone Medico, when I had 4 pins in there, one of the things I was trying out is I'd put some tension on it and I'd hit it with a rake just to kind of help initial set pins and then work my way through it. I actually raked that thing open with 4 pins in it several times. Pretty crazy considering the pin stack that's in there. We'll work on that thing at some point today too, but I don't feel up to that one right now. All my reports at work are done with voice recognition. You know, you used to do that. So when I first started in the law enforcement world, we had these little bitty laptops that we had to carry with us. They were horrible. They didn't even have backlit screens in them. And they were just absolutely terrible things. So it just wasn't safe because you're sitting out in the middle of nowhere with your dome light on so you can see what you're doing. So you can't see outside your vehicle at all. Oh. You know, I had this happen yesterday too. I was trying to refresh my memory on American 1100 bypass and got the tool stuck in the friggin' lock. Anyway, then they finally changed up and said, all right, we don't have to do that anymore. We can dictate them. So then we had to carry around the little pocket recorders and turn in tapes. Yes, this was during the cassette tape era. The little micro cassettes. I still have a micro cassette recorder and a bunch of tapes around here. God only knows what's on them anymore. Yes, I do remember Dragon, Naturally Speaking. I remember having to set that up for some people. It didn't work half bad, actually. Look at that. Look at that. It's just stuck. I can't bypass and unlock the lock. Yeah. There was another one. There was a competitor to Dragon, but I don't remember what it was called. I remember we tested that one out. It didn't work anywhere near as well. I've opened several with it, but I tried it on this Master yesterday, the 6835, to see if it was bypassable. And man, that got stuck in there. It took me forever to get it out. Now it's stuck again. But this one, for whatever reason, too, the stupid handle. I need to see if there's a way to re-glue the handle or what I can do with it. But the handle does not. It's coming apart. Yeah, it didn't do half bad. Now you look at some of the voice recognition tools. They're pretty good. Yeah. There. Jeez, oh, Pete. We're just going to put that away because I don't feel like fighting with that anymore. Oh, you got to check out this. Amazing. I mean, this is amazing. So I got this. Vendor was handing them out. Look at that. Oh. Ooh. I actually wanted to grab and measure these because they're ridiculous. We are going to break out the old school tool. Not as bad as I thought they'd be. 22 thousandths. At least they're consistent. I bet the tension bar is probably about the same. Oh, tension bar is a little bit thicker. 20, 30, 28 thousandths. So yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but, you know, because they're pretty terrible. I know I definitely need to do a little polishing work because them babies be sharp. Right? Poor man James Bond kit. Yeah, it's got a little snake rake, city rake, half diamond, and a little short hook. You know, it is what it is. Oof. You're going to work with those. You're going to do much raking with that for a tension wrench, though. That's the problem. Maybe if I get it way up there. It's does work. I mean, but you gotta be careful with it because they are sharp. So I'm gonna take a little polishing to them, polish them up a little bit. What the heck, you know? I'll throw them in a giveaway to somebody just to be mean. Maybe I'll 3D print a new case. You know, do something like that. Throw my logo on top of it. What the heck, man? Gotta have fun. Man, I am really shocked. I looked at my channel. I haven't looked at my channel in a while. And I've got 331 subscribers. That was very surprising to me. I wasn't expecting to see much of any kind of growth because I just haven't had the time to put out a whole lot of content. I do my lives on the weekends, and that's the occasional giveaway entry, and that's really about it. I'm going to try over this long weekend to maybe do a couple other videos on a couple things. I definitely want to do that 7-7 challenge because I think that'll be fun. But I want to do a couple other things. I don't really have any new products to talk too much about. Got my bags still, which I love those things. I use them all the time. Got my deep dog legs are out there now. I've got a few of those have gone out, so curious to see what the wider community sees, what they get them, what they see. Oh, the Sepox. Where is that thing? Right there, one of these. 1,100 clones. Horrible, horrible tolerances and feels in that thing. I've picked it a few times. Yeah, I have one of those too. We could talk about that a little bit. What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking? This is the first time I've messed with a Peterson pick. And it's all right. It works. Not my favorite. This, the one, I don't know if everybody got the same profile or not, but it's just a short round hook, which I'm not a big fan of round hooks. Just a personal preference thing. But here, let me grab these. So here are my Magnetis. One of the things that I was playing with on these, looking at them, so you come back, you get just past that hole, there's no more metal. No more metal anywhere in that pick until you get all the way up here to the hole and forward. So that's not much. You're relying on that plastic to hold everything together. That just seems, especially for how much these cost, that seems a little weak to me. But it's not bad. It's a little short, little dinky thing, but it works. Yeah, it's not my favorite profile, but I don't have any problems with it. It seems to work fine from what I've messed with it so far. I see mine is engraved on the neck right there. It says it's an H4. Setbox is a fishing weight. And the sad part is, so when I was down at Black Hat, there was a tool booth set up to teach people lock picking. And these were the locks they were giving everybody to try and pick. I mean, come on, man. Get something that's at least something somebody can learn from. Because a new picker, you hand them one of these, yeah, good luck. Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of what I've seen so far with this Peterson. I mean, it works, but I certainly wouldn't go paying $9, $10 a pick to have these. Yeah. Yeah, it was really nice of them to send these out, and I don't think that's actually Peterson that was sending them out, right? Somebody else that must be working with him. I don't know. The sad part is I said these are defective picks. And then I saw him post that he has over 300 of these to send out. I'd be pretty doggone pissed off at my supplier if I had 300. If Southern Specialties sent me 300 of these that were defective. Wow. That would be something. I would not be very happy about that. I mean, I know it happens. Mistakes happen. But wow, that seems like a lot. Yeah, the 140 can be a bit challenging, maybe for a brand new picker, but it's a fun lock. I like picking the 140s. The 141, I don't think I have a 141. I have this 140. I've got a 150 my son-in-law has right now because he was playing on picking. Yeah, that's what I've heard, Zoe. That is what I have heard. The other one that really surprised me and honestly, I would recommend it for a new picker, are these from Harbor Freight, of all things. These laminated steel. I haven't tried their brass ones yet, but these actually have really nice, crisp pin feedback. So I'm really pretty surprised with it. Oh yeah, wow. Everything's China anymore. I don't know where his picks are made. I mean, it says made in the USA on here. If that's what you're talking about, where his picks, but yeah, I've heard horror stories from quite a few people about old Ken. 141 is a plastic shell around a skeletonized body. Really? See, this one right here, this brass, this is a master V-line. 140, I think, is that one. Yeah, plastic shell. So it's almost something almost similar. Huh, I'll have to look that one up. I haven't seen that one before. Hey, Elroy's Toys, how are you this morning? I am not a big fan. I don't know if it's like a lot of lock style. I'm not a big fan of those things. I still struggle. Master 410s. Ugh. Yeah, it says on there they're made in the US. So I have no reason to doubt that. And I mean, it feels fine. Like I said, short round hook isn't my favorite. But it was nice to be able to get my hands on one to actually play with one, right? Because I hear all these things about them, and I've heard both good and bad about. I've heard a lot of good things about the picks themselves. It's more on the other side that I have heard negatives, but that is great to hear, sir. Glad you were great. We'll see how great I am later on. I think the wife wants me to start painting in our house over this long weekend. And it's like, oh boy, that's just what I want to do when I get extra day off from work. I hate painting. I hate it with a passion. See, I don't know if you can hear those clicks. But that's what I really was impressed with on these locks is the pin feedback is really quite good. Yeah, and there it is. There's the open. So I actually really am impressed with these little locks, considering they're really trashy locks, and they probably aren't going to last. But, you know, if you're just starting and you want to play with raking and single pin picking and a 3-pack of them for, what, $6? Meh. Not too bad. Yeah, this Mitten Made one is about the only one I've ever been able to pick. And I don't know, it's a little different. It's a different key than all of my other 410s. So there is that. I bought this little beastie to try and play with dimple locks. I didn't know it was a miniature lock. It's actually a nice little lock, but I can't use my dimple flags in there. It's too little. And then I bought it off Amazon, so I was like, oh, I'll just return the dang thing. Yeah, you want to return it, you got to pay shipping. I think that one came from Japan or something. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be like 80 degrees today. No, not today. 73 today. And then 80, we'll hit 80 tomorrow. But yeah, these little sepoks. I had to buy one because I did one of their timed events. I had 15 minutes and I could not get through that stupid lock. So I wanted to grab one just so I could check it out and see if it was just the ones they had. Because, you know, all these new people coming in there and they're just destroying picks and destroying locks. They're mashing all the pins to crap. So I wanted to see if that was the case. And nah, it's just a terrible lock. I can open it once in a while. Not very consistent, but it are what it are. Is what it is. Be what it want to be. But yeah, that whole thing. Super light. Oh, and I guess why? I mean, if the metal ends basically right there, there's no metal in there beyond that. You'd think for that kind of money, they could at least have a full tang. I don't know. But it's government steel, so you're good to go. Although I saw, who was it? Dean P. broke one. It's like, dude, they're a pick, not a crowbar, man. Come on. You know, I have this 410 that I rattle clubbed it, so I 3D printed a body for it. I've picked it several times before I put it in this body. I have never opened it again. I have the 40 in that little brass Abus. Yeah, this is a 7530. And, you know, I didn't pay attention. I didn't read the specifications. They made it look like it was a considerably bigger lock than it was. So this one is a 401. This one that Stu sent me is a 417. I've never seen one with a 417 key before. And it goes, I mean, it's got decent bitting to it. It goes the opposite direction of the, keep in focus, of the 401 key. So here's a 401 key. And there you can see them both. They look fairly similar. When you get down to the grooving, you can see they're mirror images of each other. So don't really know what the difference is other than that. But it is a different key. And that's what I'm used to seeing, is either the 400 or the 401 key, not a 417. Really smooth. That's one of the smoothest lotto locks I've played with. Other than I have an Avis lotto lock. Can't open that damn thing either. I was messing around a little bit and was able to rake this Brinks the other day. Single pin picked it, 50 millimeter. interesting little lock. Found this little baby. I don't know what brand it is. As far as that goes, it could be a Brinks. Doesn't say that on it. There's no brand anywhere on it. But of course, this, other than on this blue, there's nothing anywhere else that says that it's a Brinks. Added some lube to it today because that thing was pretty gunked up. It's a little better now. That's not a bad little pick. Kind of fun. Let's hang you there. Man, I've got a lot of American 1100s. I need to play with some more of those one day. And then the other that I guess you would call a lotto, but it's the aluminum body, is this one. I really like this little Master. Was it a 570? That's actually a fun lock to pick. I really enjoy it. For some reason, it's considerably easier. It's one pin less than what's in the 410. But really nice little lock to work on. Really enjoy those. Would strongly recommend picking up one or two of those to play with. They're fun. The 40 millimeter Brinks. Yeah, and I think that's, like I said, I think that's what this might be. That's a 40 millimeter. It's not. It doesn't say Brinks, like I said, anywhere on it. It doesn't say it on the key. Nothing. There is nothing on the key at all. But nice little lock. This one has numbers on the key. It says it's an M1. And it does say Brinks on the key. So this is probably just some generic. I like it. It's been a fun lock. Let's see. What do we need for a tension wrench on you? Yeah, see if we can open something with this Peterson pick. See if it helped it after I lubed it a little bit. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there it is. You know, you can learn your raking on something like that. It's a little bit tighter keyway on this one, especially. You know, a little bit tighter keyway, so it makes you work it a little bit. Yeah, see, mine's a blue band. So, like I said, this one's not a Brinks. It's just a Chinese something or another lock. But it is still the same. So the same Brinks key fits. Right, so it's an M1 keyway. It's just a clone. Cheapy lock. But it's not bad. Kind of a fun little one to pick. Kind of like it when I find a lock laying around that I can kite and mess with. If and you know what I mean. You fit better. You know, I need some kind of a tension wrench, size-wise, that falls in between a 51 and a 40. All right, well, you get some sleep there, Zoe. Thank you for dropping by. The cat's over here sleeping next to me. Didn't make a presence today, an appearance, but one of these days. He's kind of gotten a little lax on his attack on my picking lately, which I'm not necessarily complaining about. Makes it kind of tough. But you have a wonderful weekend, Zoe. We will catch you next time. Well, I'm sure they do. They all come out of the same factories, more than likely. That's kind of the way that rolls, right? Yeah. Like I said, I like this little 570. Highly recommend if you don't have one, get one. It's a fun lock, fun to play with. I'd like to try and work on figuring out how to rake that, being a dead shackle. Be a little more of an interesting, challenging pick to get in there. Link is pinned at the top if anybody wants to hop in here. Come say hello to the crew. Well, like I said, this little Peterson, I'm sure I'll leave it in my kit, and it'll be something else I have in there to play with, and it's got its place. I've thought about trying to convert it to a flat hook, but I'll probably just leave it alone. Probably isn't worth messing with too much, but it's not bad. Key thing to remember picking, they are not a crowbar. Lighter tension, easier going is generally better. I rarely run into a lock that I need to really crank on. What are they like compared to the 575? A Master 575? I do not know if I know what a 575 is, so I don't think I can tell you. I have a lot of Masters, but I don't have that. Let's see. There's a 530. There's a US. There's a number 3. Or no, that's a number 1. I don't know, man. I do not have... What are you? Oh, I forgot I had him. Oh, Berg. That's what cracked me up. So when I was down picking at the... What's light tension? Yeah, right. You're a heavy tension guy, aren't you? Cease to do. Just barely take out. You get that little bit of rotation in that core. Just take it to that, and that is about all you need. Just hold it at that point. You pulse a little bit up more, a little on, a little off as you're going through it, depending on what the pins tell you. Yeah, I don't know. If you get one, then you can tell me what the difference is. I'm not sure what a 570 is. I've never seen that. I'll have to look that up. Yes, good morning, Mr. Stu. We were just talking here a minute ago about that lock that you sent me. I've never seen a 410 with a 417 key. I've seen the 400s and the 401s, but not a 417. A little different. Very cool. Oh, just in brass. Okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. I have a very limited supply locally of even master locks. I mean, everybody here carries the same thing. I can find the 410 Lotto locks. I can find the 570s. I can find like number 3s. And that's really it. And then after that, it goes to some Brinks at one store. Another store has some other brand that they like to carry. Both are dead cylinder. Huh, that'd be kind of cool. I may have to look that up. See if I can find one. I'm always looking for new locks. Like I said, I've got a inexpensive disc detainer lock on the way, so I can try out that Southern Specialties tool. Got a couple other people in the chat, so let's see. Anybody have experience with these Sparrows wafer jigglers? I'm in Wyoming. If I hit my local locksmith, he carries a lot of American locks. I wouldn't mind going down and picking up a couple of his higher end Americans that he's got, but they get pricey. Woo! They get pricey in a hurry. I'm just a poor man from a poor family. Although I can say we had fun. We went and hit the local little casino a little bit last night. And my wife walked out with $600. I walked out with $200. Not half bad. It's all 1s, 5s, 141s, too many combo locks. Yeah, combo locks are insane. They're everywhere. And I haven't gotten into trying to pick or figure out my way around combos, so I really don't have any desire to mess with that. I enjoy the Single pinning and raking and zipping and all that good happy doodads. Hey there, Mr. Llama. How are you this morning? Welcome, welcome from across the pond. Glad you could drop on by. Saw your video where you got your hands on my little challenge lock over there. I wish the lock lived up to the packaging that I put together with it, but hey, it's kind of fun. I had a good time making it, designing the insert for the case. I threw away an awful lot of filament getting that thing lined up and fitting right. Morning, it's past lunchtime here. Well, it is 8:30 in the morning here. So it is just coffee time. Coffee. Link is up in the doobly-doo. If anybody feels like hopping on, would love to have you. Past lunchtime. That's awesome. That's one thing that really amazes me on this. A whole lot of IKEA stuff. Yeah, like I said, I think it looks better than it actually performs, but dinner time for you, huh, Argus? Where are you at? I think you've told me before, but I don't remember. Yeah, I had fun with that one. A couple of the pins are really, really bizarre things. And be honest with you, it wasn't on purpose. It was because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. There's a spool pin in there that you look at it, you go, what in the... It's like an offset spool. One side is further cut across than the other side. But it actually gives it kind of an interesting wobble. So I'm not going to complain about that any. Well, we just might move a couple of those. 40. I was really looking hard and heavy at buying one of those Sparrows tension kits. Let's see. I don't know if anybody on here has any experience with them. Let me find them and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just mainly I like the whole kit. It looks like a neat setup. So let me go Sherry. Oh, all right. So it's this set. Looks like an interesting little set. Love the look of the case. So I've been thinking about trying to get my hands on one of those to try out. Don't know. What do you guys think? Any of you guys use those at all? I'm not sure how much use these curved ones would be. But looking at that little case, I really like the little case, and I was thinking a guy could turn that into a little pocket kit pretty easily. Throw in some little custom picks or something in there to go with it. CL sucks. Some are easier than others. Yeah, I know. My first one that went out, it's really easy. I have no idea where it's gone. It's disappeared into the ether on me. At one point, I guess it was sent off to Canada, but I have no idea who to. Yeah, that was kind of my thought. It was a way to learn the technique, learn what I'm doing, learn how to make them. I wouldn't mind. I've got a couple of... I have a nice cylinder upstairs that I think would make a really sweet challenge lock. But I need to get... Did my video hang up? Nah, it's gone. I need to get a key for it. I don't have a key for the cylinder. So I want to find a key for it. I think it is a... When I was looking it up, what did I find? I think it's a Corbin keyway. So I was thinking I could make a really nice little challenge lock out of that thing. It's a fun one. It's only got 4 pins in it. It's a 6-pin core, but it's only got 4 pins in there right now. So work that thing up and turn it into something else. I think that might be fun. I almost bought Greyhound. I kind of got to stick with the dog theme. So I was thinking about it. It's like that angry little doggone chihuahua that's always nipping at your ankles, chewing on you. So I thought, good name for a lock. So that's why I tried to do the big-eared chihuahua engraving on the side of it. That's kind of where I was going with that. I kind of try and stick to the dog theme. Yep. You hit that link up top, and that will bring you in, and I can enter you into the stream, and you can actually come in and share a video, just share a voice, talk with me a little bit, visit with the crowd, whatever you would like to do. Mr. Delbert Alexander, good morning. How the heck are you? I always love it when somebody hops in and joins, so people don't just have to listen to me rant and ramble and rave. And how's the lighting and stuff look, too? I modified my camera positioning a little bit. I got a different light to try and illuminate things a little bit better. Let's see. Jeez, okay. Let me go over here. Boop. Boop, 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 ba-doo, ba-doo. There. I kind of found doing this on the Medico, at least for me, it kind of helps to, it seems to me anyway, like hitting it with a rake just kind of helps align some of the pins properly. I don't know. I'm probably just lying to myself, but it worked well when I was doing 4 pins. Now that I'm up to 5 pins, it doesn't really seem to help me any. Actually raked the doggone thing open with 4 pins, which I was pretty doggone impressed with that. Hey, I understand that completely, Mr. Llama. Yep. Sometimes I wake up grumpy. Sometimes I let her sleep. That's my philosophy. Yeah. Let them get the rest they need. I think they've actually found that women need more sleep than men do. Not really sure why, but is what it is. I usually try and hop on every Saturday. I'll post it out usually Thursday. I'll get it published out of when I'm doing it. But usually it's Saturday mornings, 8 o'clock. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah, I'd love to have you on. I always like trying to get people to hop in and, like I said, introduce themselves, talk a little bit. I don't have the biggest channel or the biggest amount of people watching the streams, but they get watched a little bit after the fact. That's a good way to get introduced, right? Yeah, this lock is going to be the death of me yet, dudes. I'm about ready to say screw you and put you to the side. I need a break again. I'll probably have to pull pins back out and start over. This one was a fun pick. Gravity. I have not messed with this dang thing yet. I don't know if I dare mess with this thing yet. Yep, 2 hour different, 10 a.m. Eastern. Absolutely correct, sir. If I found it right looking this up, this is Nick Vitt's challenge lock. I do believe. It's 2 hour. You're in Eastern time in Michigan, huh? I didn't think Michigan was quite that far east. Oh, Mr. Mountain Mick, how are you, good sir? You know, this is one of those I might have to progressively pin this challenge lock, to be quite honest with you. It might be something that is a little bit beyond my skill levels. I don't know. I'm not a very skilled picker, so some of these challenge locks really are a struggle. Just getting back up. I've been up for about 3 hours now. At least open it up and have a look at what I'm dealing with in here. That guy makes some sick challenge locks. Yeah, I hear you there, man. I needed it too. We have to get the grill going this weekend, get some steaks cooking. Oh, it is. It's a lot of fun. You know, like I said, this gravity one, that was the first one I've ever actually opened. And it was awesome. It was most excellent. And it is. It's a fun challenge because, man, these challenge locks, you get pins in here and things done in here that you'll never see in a regular lock. So it really does challenge you. I don't know if that's good or bad, but, you know. All right, Elroy's Toys, you have a marvelous rest of your weekend, sir. Thank you for dropping by. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. Exactly right. I saw somebody the other day talking about one, and they actually took, the little like metal pull chains for lights, or even a dog tag necklace, dog tag chain. They took 2 of those, so it's got the pin in the middle and pivots, and they turned that into a set of pins in there. I'm like, oh man, I bet those would just act bizarre as crap when you would hit it. I had one, and here's how disgusting that was. I had one that somebody had sent me. I could not get anywhere with that stupid lock. That thing was driving me nuts. I finally gave up on it. I sent it over to Broke. He had that thing open in like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, you suck. You suck, dude. I tell you. Talk about make a guy feel bad. But, every one of them is going to perform different, and everybody's got a different skill level and a different feel. I still kind of struggle with feeling what the pins are, what they're really telling me down in there. Not very good at that yet. So DeForest Gump. That's awesome. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Get after it. Get a lock made. I've got a couple cores around here that I can use to make some fun ones out of. I have a bunch of these, but I don't have any keys for them. But I don't know if any of these would be any good or not. Which one? I have one that I think might be fun. This one would probably be for a fun challenge lock if I could find a right key for it. Because look at the keyway on that thing. It would be just a fun one to get in there. Yeah, Broke is a very good picker. Much better than he likes to let on. That's exactly why I asked him to help me out with my deep dog legs, doing some testing, making suggestions on what to change. And man, we changed it a long ways. Good morning, Nola. So here was the original that I had come up with. And I still like those. I like how they work. This is where we ended up. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not. We brought the start of the curve of the neck back more. It's a little more prominent curve and a super steep hook, which, I'm not going to lie, works better than I expected, honestly. I don't know if it'll work in this lock with I need a thinner one, but it is a stinking serious pick. Like I was showing on this cutaway lock, you can go all the way to that back pin and lift that sucker all the way up in and not touch any other pin in there. So that's kind of the whole point, right? I drop back in, and that's with that curve of the neck. It'll let you kind of come at it like that and snake your way back to get in there. And then let me find a pin. I can lift that pin back there way up and not touch anything. So that was kind of the whole point, right? It's not the right pick for every lock in every situation. But by God, when you need that deep, when you need that extra lift, it'll do it. It will do the trick. See, and this is the original, and it does all right. I like how it works as well. Let me find the pin. Part of the problem with this one is I went a little too wide on the head down here. Yeah, 6835. I've thought about that as well because I still have two engraved 6835s. So I've been thinking about working these over and making them into a challenge lock. So mine are different. I've seen somebody else's, and I don't know if these are older, but some of them that I've seen are a little more almost like a rounded oblong body, where this one is more square. This one, this thing mirrors an American 1100. Body-wise, it's exactly the same thing. Hell, I think if I remember right, you could even swap the cores. So that's what I've been thinking about, taking these last two that I've got. And I'll just give them away to somebody at some point. But I want to go through those and do a little pin modification. That's right. That's why you need all the dog legs. You need the entire kennel. Maybe that's what I should do, put together a pick. How do I acquire one of those locks? One of my engraved ones, Mr. Delbert? Well, I don't know. We can maybe work something out. I need to, but I am going to work on it and tweak some pins and make some modifications. They turned out really nice, man. That engraving worked really, really well. I did it on a Pack Lock 98 Pro as well. Took it down to our local college and used their laser engraver and threw it together. I think it turned out and looks really sharp. I like how that works. Right? It's kind of what I was just thinking. And just offer, because I've got, a guy asking me, well, how do I go about getting the whole thing? Well, you have to buy it all, but I can put it together into a kit. It's like, yeah, maybe I do that. And that's one thing I was thinking about doing. So I have my beginner set out there. Let me know what you think of this. I was thinking about changing up the beginner set. This Chaos rake is probably my favorite rake. That thing just stinking works. So I'm going to leave that in there. But then I was thinking about doing a 25 thousandths heavy dog leg, 25 thousandths in the deep, and then maybe a 20 thousandths in the standard, instead of, get one of each of the different styles of picks. Kind of what I was thinking for that. Right? The dog house. Their dog house can be a challenge like that. That's a good idea. Good name. So I'm going to have to work on that next. Then I got to work on the presentation, right? How am I going to build to hold that one? Might be another one, since I still have a bunch of these. Might do another one of these poly cases and 3D print and insert to hold the lock. So I think you'll fit in there. Yeah, let me grab an empty one. I think I have an empty one sitting here. No, not an empty one there. I got stuff in a bunch of them. Oops. Oopsies. Throwing stuff around, guys. I'm throwing stuff around. We can use this one. I'll just take my mics out. Yeah, that might be a thought. And then, yeah, I'd be able to 3D print a case, a holder for that to put in here and decorate that up a little bit or something. Yeah. Do you build your own set? Well, kind of. I mean, I've got a basic set out there, and you pick and choose which of the dog leg picks you want in it. But I'd certainly can add anything else that anybody wants to it, right? So I've got quite a few different things to pick from out there. Ooh, I think I knocked into that with my fat noggin. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Right, that's kind of what I was thinking. So get you the 25,000s in the heavy for a newer picker for a beginner set, right? Because you're usually a little heavier handed. 20,000s in a standard, so you got something that fits most of your keyways pretty easily. And then probably the one I'm not sure is on the deep, doing the 25 or the 20,000, because that's what I was thinking is three pit hooks and a rake and a set of tension wrenches. So that's kind of the way I was thinking of going with those at some point. Unfortunately, I screwed up when I ordered, and I got way more of the current sets than what I was planning. So I might have to either get rid of those or, get some of the other picks and just replace it. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be a good one. The Kennel Club. Yeah. Man, you guys are sparking all kinds of ideas my way. That sounds like a good one, actually. Might have to look at that. All right. Later, Llama. Thanks for dropping by. Remember, don't feed the gremlins after midnight, and don't get them wet. I don't know. I'm going to have to probably open up, like I said, and have a look at this lock, because I don't know what else in here. That it's got some tricky stuff in there. Regular, heavy, deep. What do you mean by thick dog leg? I don't have a thick dog leg. What do you mean by thick? So what I have currently, I'm thinking about trying to come up with something for a. So I have. We will just not you. Grab you. You. And where did I put them? They're over in this case. No bright lights. No. Where? Oh, where have my little dog gone? What the heck, dudes? Dudes? With my other picks. They're not in that case. They're not in that case. They're not in that case. Oh, maybe they're in. Man, I got such a mess going on. Nope, that's my Jimmy's. Anyway, I've got the heavy, the standard, and the deep. Are the ones I have. Yeah, because the heavy just has the thicker, heavier neck. But I just don't know where the hell I put them. Let's look. Did I happen to? I know I've got a set. Whew. I don't think they're in here though. No. Law lock set. Got a lot of picks, babe. Multi-pick. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, those are the three that I have. Oh. Oh, that's standards. I broke one of my standards here a while back. But I had been using it for about a year, so it served its purpose for a long time before it gave up the ghost. Well, I could do that, 3 regular, 3 heavy. But I was kind of thinking of a beginner set. And I'm trying to keep the price at what's a reasonable point, right? So my current beginner set, I think I've got it at $29, and that comes in a leather snap case with 3 hooks and a rake. But right now it comes with your choice of the regular or the heavy. But that's what I was thinking of, putting it with one of each and just trying to figure out the right thicknesses to put in there, and then the rake. But yeah, this little rake, that thing is my favorite rake. Love that thing. It just blasts away at locks for me. At least the locks that I'm able to rake. You know how that goes. Again, I am not a very good raker. And then it comes with the Longhorn tension set from Southern, which is one of my favorite tension sets. Right? That might not be a bad idea. Which I could do that easy enough. As I say, it's a good rake, and I can't rake that little Brinks. That little Brinks is kind of a weird one, though. I don't know where it came from, but it's a little trashed up. But yeah, generally I like either a quad or a quint rake, wave rake, or this little. Yeah, the Longhorn is awesome. They're great tension wrenches. Now these are Mr. Stew's tension wrenches. Got a set of those. I'm really digging those. I really like them. I had made my own somewhat similar to this. But at the same point, quite a bit different before I ever saw those. But I didn't bend it quite the same. Mine's a 90 degree instead of a full 180 twist. Yeah. But I really like this one. It's thin enough that, I mean, it's got a lot of flex to it. It's actually a really nice little tension wrench. Works well. Gives really good feedback in there. The Sparrow City Rake. You know, I've never been a big City Rake fan. And now I was looking at this. So here's a tuxedo set. Tuxedo set is supposed to have a City Rake. There's my tuxedo set. I don't have a City Rake. So I don't know. Oh, hey, Mr. Mountain Mick. There is the handle I was working on for the single layer Sparrows. It's just a press fit. It's not magnetic, so that lets you be thinner, but easy to swap around from one pick handle to the next. Got it on the 16 thousandths, and there I have one more. What I like with that is I can still put it in this case and just have one handle with it. I can swap around if I have a longer pick session coming up. But I can put that in there, and it doesn't make the case so big and bulky. So, kind of liking it. It's working all right so far. I need you to get on here, Mr. Mick, at some point and explain these, because you were the one I think was telling me how wonderful these are for jigglers. I cannot open a freaking thing with these damn things. Nothing. Hate them. And I know it's just me. It's just me not understanding the right way to use them, the right way to jiggle them, wiggle them. I have no idea. But this is a much better jiggler set for me. They just work. In everything I throw that thing in, man, it's just like you've got a key. It just, and it's open. And then here's the one for the thick handle. This one will have magnets in it. I just need to play with it a little bit. It doesn't quite fit right yet, but it'll be a press fit. And the whole thought with that is it only goes on half of it, so that way it doesn't cover up the beautiful artwork. But it doesn't fit. I need to resize it. It's a little too small. I can't get the pick in there properly. So I'll be working on that some more too. I am working on that as well. I'm working on one that'll be something similar to this. It might be something like this with magnets in it, but we'll have a cutout window on each side so you can see both the size and the logo. That is in my little design studio as well. Yeah, I know they are for wafers. That's what I've been trying to use them on, is a wafer lock. I cannot open a wafer lock with these jigglers. Now you give me this jiggler, you bet. Piece of cake. But this one, maybe for an automotive lock. I haven't tried that, of course, but I don't have an automotive lock around here to try it out in. That'd be cool to try, but none of my wafer locks. So then I was trying to play with, I have this that came out of a door lock or out of a desk wafer lock. So you can kind of see what's going on in there. And I've tried playing with that just a little bit just to kind of see how they work. And they just don't. They just don't. They just don't. I'm telling you. And like I said, I'm sure it's either I'm not hitting the right locks with these, or I just don't know what I'm doing to use them. I'm sure there's a technique to them. For early model autos. Well, this is what comes in Sparrow's EOD kit. Comes with those. So yeah, there you go. You know, I don't mind the picks themselves feel pretty good. They work pretty good from Sparrows. I will give them that. I've bashed on those guys a lot, mainly because I can't stand these single layer handles. Now, these 3D printed handles on there, I like those. I really like these, that it's tactical head. Those are the best handles I've had on the Sparrows yet, because it still leaves the metal up front, so you can still get up there and you can really feel the feedback. So I really like those. But these 3D printed ones work surprisingly well so far. So there. And there you can see, just pops on down into the handle. Handle just comes up, snaps on, and there you go. Got a handle. Like I said, if I grab these Southern jigglers, I can open a wafer lock in seconds with those. They just work. They work very, very well. I just haven't figured these other ones out. So, and this is not my design. This is one of somebody else's that I found. And then I had to tweak it a little bit because when I got it, I printed it out. It did not fit the pins or the picks. So I had to spend a bit of time doing some work on it. Here, let me show you guys this. See if anybody out here has wonderful words of wisdom. Come on, can you focus? Can you focus? So see those little imperfections. My print turned out pretty good, except for some of those. Any of you guys that are 3D printers out there, what's going on? What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on there with that? Any thoughts? Bueller? Bueller? Huh. I need all the help I can get. Trying to figure some of this stuff out. My son-in-law is helping me out with some things as well on the pick handle world. But that's what I want to try next, is I want to try one of these. What's kind of useless? Those double-ended jigglers. Take one of these and resize it to fit my picks. Then, like I said, put a window in it in the front. I think it'll be all right. Yeah, it does, because then you can get up there and you can really feel on that. But what I found with these 3D printed handles like these, man, they pass the feedback through amazingly well. You can really still feel what's going on, even though it's covering that pick all the way up. They work very, very well. That's 44 Delta for you right there. Beautiful, beautiful work. Yeah, they aren't doing it for me. I've heard some other people say, man, they're the greatest jiggler out there, but they do not work for me. But again, that's me. Your mileage may vary. You need the sparrows warded and wafer for what you're using them on, sounds like. Well, I'm not picking a warded lock. And I thought that's what those were. I thought that's what they say they are on their website, is that they are wafer lock picks. So, I mean, I'm just trying to do what their site says they're supposed to be for. I don't know. That's why I thought I'd ask. Tell me about the error of my ways. Yeah. G key showed up later. I like grip, no slip. You don't slip around on these. These handles are, like I said, they are very, very nice for a 3D printed handle. They're wonderful. They're really meant for making wonton soup. And there you go. That might be it. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm not using them in the kitchen. I'm using them in a lock. Right? Grippy sock, grippy box. Everybody likes a grippy box. I'll definitely continue using these prototype dog legs from the first run. I do like them. They don't have near the lift of what the final product has, but they work very well as I sit here and don't open a lock, you know. But hey. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to use them and to use them right and to get the right stuff out of it. I just haven't figured out what that is yet. I haven't. Um, and that's why I thought I would ask on here to see if there's anybody who is familiar with them, had used them, that could tell me what I was doing wrong. I'm not trashing them. I'm sure they have the right place. Yep. I don't remember who it was. I know I had somebody saying they were the greatest thing ever. And that's where I was hoping to catch them to say, okay, help teach me. Because like I said, it's probably nothing wrong with the tool. It's probably just a matter of I'm not hitting the right kind of locks with them. I'm not doing who knows what with them. Wonder if they'd work on this Miwa. Huh? Think they'd work on a Miwa? I doubt it. I got to figure this thing out yet too. That's another lock. I got so many locks I need to figure out how to open. And so little time. This might be another fun one that I could turn into a challenge lock if I can ever get it back open again. It's a pack lock 98 Pro that I screwed up when I put the pins back in. I bought it when I was down at the convention just because I thought it was kind of cool looking kit. This is one of those that I'll probably get it rigged together and it'll just go into one of my emergency bags to have with the variety that's in there. It's all right. I'm still sorry, Mountain Mick. I'm still not a big fan of Sparrow's picks, but that's just personal preference. I am going to take these and I'm going to do kind of what RuneSmith did. I'm going to drill them out and I'm going to put them together. So that way, because of rapid access, you pull it out and then you just spin it, get the one that you want, spin your other handles back the other way, and now you have what works as a handle with the picks and go to work. So that's what I'm going to try out. So it's not that it's a bad set. I'm just not a fan of the single layered handles. That's just me, personal preference. I'm not a big fan of the tension wrenches either. They're all right for bottom of keyway. Top of keyway, they're terrible. I'm not saying it's trash. The picks work perfectly well. They're perfectly fine. For me, it's just a personal preference thing. I don't care for that style of handle. I would much rather have, and I know you don't like these, but I would much rather have a popsicle stick handle than I would that. Just because it's more comfortable for me. Again, personal preference, right? That's why you've got 5 million different pick profiles out there and brands out there, because everybody does something just a little bit different. But no, I'm definitely not saying it's trash. And I definitely see a use case for that kit. I'm going to make some tweaks of it for myself. And then that's the Miwa. I believe it is a DS. So I haven't messed with that one very much. I've got more locks than I have time. You'd rather have a double cheeseburger with pickles. Me too. That sounds pretty tasty. Like I said, I have a lot of locks. Yeah, that upgrade, the modification you made to it looks pretty slick. I'm going to do mine with a Chicago bolt rather than a rivet. That way it's easier. I can take it apart if I want to take it apart. I was thinking on either side of that, I'll put a nylon washer so it's not taking the bolt apart on me. But I have some extras of those, so I just need to get my little drill press set up and drill my holes in the picks and get busy on that. Yeah, the 4 set's a lot of fun. That one's right here. Again, that's actually where that Chaos Rake comes in. The Chaos Rake is actually from the Force set. They're just making it as a separate, the double-ended rakes that are in there. I did some wrapping on these. Yeah, I was looking at that set of those Sparrows tensioners, thinking about getting a set of those. I'd like to try them out. If nothing else, I'd like that little case to set up for an EDCs type case. But there it is. I thought I had it. There's the City Rake from the Sparrows kit. I'll put that back in the Sparrows kit. I don't know why it ended up in this kit. I've got a couple other picks in here as well that aren't part of that kit. And then there's a modification that I made to this case, and I thought about doing it to the others that I've got my beginner set in, is I've cut a hole in it to fit the tension wrenches. That way they're not falling in, because otherwise they fall down in the pouch, then you have to dump the whole thing out to try and get to your tension wrenches. This holds them right there. It's easy to get to your tension wrenches, and then your picks are behind it. So that's a modification I made to that case. I started wrapping these with some string to make some handles on them. I was wanting to try and make some wooden handles to fit those, but that's an awesome little set, right? The Force set only works for those that are worthy. That's right. I like that Force set. It's pretty cool. I do. But yeah, there's the City Rake. I've never been a big fan of a City Rake, but just because it doesn't work for me. Again, probably just don't know the right style on how to do it. Yeah, for me, I got to have the pickles on there. I got to have the onion on there. Yeah, bacon is always a good thing. I'm a barbecue sauce guy. I barbecue sauce the shit out of everything. I rarely use ketchup. Yeah, I think the Chicago Bolt will look a little better. So that's where I'm planning on doing. Maybe I'll find time this weekend to go set up my drill press and get them drilled. Figured I'd do it on the drill press so it's a little easier to, I figure I'll break out my center punch. I should be able to. Where's that set? I already have one pick in here that I marked. And I figure that'll be my starter. I'll get my hole drilled in it. There. So there I've got my dimple for that. So then once I drill that first hole, then I can line it up with the next one. Do my punch. I'll drill it a smaller hole so just the punch fits through. Punch the next one, work my way down to punch all of them, get my holes drilled, drill them out, and do it. So that is my thought anyway. I need to measure. I need to grab my calipers and measure because I want to make sure I'm centered up with where I put my drill bit, my holes. So I need to do that yet too. But that's my plan. And I think that will be a very cool modification to that kit. So other than that, I like the kit. I've used this little shove knife. Bypass knife, I guess they call it. The bomb shaped. On, let's see. I don't mind some mayo on there once in a while. Just depends. Hot sauce. I haven't tried some of those. The can will probably just come in that medium zip case. I'm wanting to get and there we go. There's bypassed. I'm wanting to get myself a laser engraver because then I would like to customize them and engrave the logo on the leather cases. But I don't have a laser engraver, so I don't have a way to really do that easily. That's what I was thinking. Engrave it would be kind of cool. But for now, it'll just be in one of these medium cases because, man, you can put a lot of damn tools in there. The current handpick set that I've got, it comes with the Z-bars, it comes with the Longhorns, And then it comes with one set of dog legs, and then I believe it's a quad, a quint, and the Chaos Rake in there. Mustard. You know, I'm a mustard guy. I do like my mustard, but most generally, I like spicy mustard. The best one I've found so far is called Coops. Oh, that's a good mustard. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm just gonna keep that baby out. So that's here, so I have it. Because I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna try and get that done this weekend, so maybe I can show that next week. Show the modification. Yeah, I've done. I don't know if I have any other locks. I don't know. I don't know what locks are bypassable like with a shove knife like that. Other than I found out that those were, so I've used it on those. I don't know. Are these Brinks bypassable? Can you shove knife a Brinks? Don't know. Don't know. Don't know, man. I just don't know. How did we end up on the Planet of the Apes? Man, I can't keep up in the chat, and you guys are off to some weird crap. I haven't looked at the Ranger set. I don't know. I want to get some CI picks here at some point to play with and try those out. I'd like to get my hands on an Echelon set just to try it out. I keep hearing how wonderful they are. I don't have anything covert instruments other than that one, this case, and a tubular lockpick. That is the only things that I have that are CI. I wouldn't mind trying some of their newer ones out. They look pretty interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I thought about a leather stamp, but dude, you know how expensive it is to get a leather stamp? I mean, seriously, I can buy a cheap laser engraver off of frickin' Temu. It's at least $200 for me to get a leather stamp made with my logo to it. Because I thought about that. That's what I've heard. I've heard the Apexes are pretty sweet. They look nice. The Echelon set, I really want to try out the tension set for the Echelon set. That looks really slick. That's where I'm kind of torn between the Echelon set or the Echelon tension wrenches or that set from Sparrows. The big thing with Sparrows, yeah, I know good leather stamps are very expensive, and that's the problem, right? My wife would choke me out if I spend hundreds of dollars to get a leather stamp. Or the ones from Sparrows. The ones from Sparrows, I really dig that case, but don't know. It's kind of like even getting custom engraving done on picks, right? Or well, on most anything. There's always a big setup fee up front, and then pay for the engraving after the fact. Because there's a lot of work that goes into setting that stuff up and getting the artwork and everything lined out correctly and done. And yeah, I like my Jimmy Long picks. They're very nice. I don't use them as much as I probably should, but I like the Jimmies. I really, really have been digging this Law Lock set. Really like these. And these are 44 Deltas handles for those. Oh, beautiful. I mean, they're long, a little bit longer than the others. They just fit. Really, really like these picks. And these pick handles are stellar. Again, I can't brag that guy up enough. His 3D printing work is top notch. Really are. The feedback in these picks, beautiful. They are Truly a work of art. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of, is the Reaper set with that have the other picks, not the Echelon. The Reaper. Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. The tension set out of the Reapers. Those are the ones that are the kind of odd shaped looking ones. They look pretty slick. I'd like to try those out. Right? That's the problem, Delbert. I just don't know, for me, how well those turners will work, Mountain Mick. And that's the case with any of those curved turners. Being a left-handed picker, they just don't really work very well for me. But I'd still like to try some out. And that's where, like I said, I'm really looking at that Sparrow set, mainly because of that case. Because I think with those tension wrenches and then come up with some shorty picks to put in there, could make a nice little pocket kit. Yeah. No, I agree with you. For the money, Jimmy Longs are really hard to beat, dude. Those are just amazing picks. I don't know how he makes such quality at that price point. It's nuts. Yeah, they are meaty, aren't they? But they're a big pick. You know, there's the pick itself. But again, it's that single layer, and to me, it's fine if you're just doing a short pick. But if you have any kind of picking time in there, but the handles are kind of beefy, but a lot of that is because of the design, right? So there you can see the inserts. They've got magnets inset inside of them, so they got to be a little bit thicker in order to support that. But then they also have holes lined up here that the picks drop over. So I mean, the picks don't budge when they're in that case. They're wonderful. Trade me turners for a lock. Well, we can maybe work that out. I'll actually dig one apart, and I'll do a little something to the internals for you. How's that? See what we can come up with for a fun little lock. I want to get my hands on some more of those locks, but they don't make that flat one, I don't think, anymore in that 6835. That 6835, that is just wonderful. Because I'd like to get more of those flat ones, because they're wonderful for engraving on, and they're just a nice lock to hand out. But I got those at just a steal of a price. Somebody was selling them on Facebook here, brand new, never been out of the box. At one point I had, I think, 13 of them. I think I have 4 left. 2 that are engraved, 1 that I've got for me, and then the one that's jacked up that I need to drill out so I can fix it. Yeah, I saw that 3 flats and the curved, and then that little snap canvas case. That's what's got me. I really like the look of that little case. I'm just thinking, man, I could turn that into one hell of a nice little emergency kit to throw in. So I've about trashed this poor lock. The core isn't holding up very well anymore. It doesn't like the tension. So it makes it that much harder to pick. But yeah. Yeah, Jimmy Longs are crazy good picks. The design that's gone into those, and then, yeah, the fact that he's kept the price where they're at, holy cow. I be the first to tell you that I think those are a stellar set. And I need to see, because I was thinking, like, these, I could throw those in a kit with that tension set, and then get some picks to go along with that set, throw in there. Oh yeah, we'd be talking this pretty sweet little pocket kit. Sweet little pocket kit, dudes. Oh, back at you, Delbert. I don't want you to feel like you're getting left out. Left out in left field or shorted in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I'll yank one of these apart. Show the core a little love. Show the pins a little love. See what I can put together as a torture device, if you will. And don't forget, guys, got some goodies together for Delbert last night. Yeah, that was awfully nice of him to send those to you. That was wonderful. Zoe, you're back. I don't remember. Hell, I don't remember. I've put a couple of promo codes out there for a couple of different groups. But I need to look at it and make sure I'm not shorting myself anymore because I kind of got some prices down there pretty damn cheap. But let me look and see what I got sitting out there. Couldn't fall asleep. Oh, not there. Here. Oh, where did everybody go? Where did everybody go? I lost everything. It's all gone. Good grief. What am I doing, dudes? They're on the store now. I've got a handful. I think I have about 6 sets of deeps left in my inventory right now. Hopefully, next week or so, I'll be probably placing another inventory order, and I'll be grabbing some more of quite a few things. I'm actually out of quite a bit. Annoys the wife. She's like, "You aren't making any money on your business. You just turn around and put it back in. It pays for my hobby." And I don't know where else you're going to buy a 3-pack set of picks for $10. Got to start cleaning up things a little bit. Oh, see, look at that. That's the other thing with that leather case. These jigglers fit in there perfect. My other little tension wrench fits in there perfect. I love these cases, man. These things are just amazing. They really are. Wonderful, wonderful cases. If you have never messed with Southern Specialties gear, you really ought to give them a look. They're kind of the same thing for the money. Hey, Mr. Sushi, how the heck are you? For the money, they make some pretty phenomenal stuff. Truly, truly do. Let's see. How are things going for you, Mr. Sushi? I'm hoping that things are getting better and improving for you every day, man. I truly do. Of course, on the other side of the spectrum, right, talking about all these picks and different things, if you want a true masterpiece of pick go hit up Mr. Runesmith. I mean, get a load of those. They are just absolutely gorgeous picks. Customizes the engraving for each person, like these runes here. GHLP, Greyhound Lockpicking. I believe that was what that one there says. And then here's a medium hook. And I looked this up at one point. I don't remember what it said. I'd have to go look that one up again. And then there. I mean, man, that guy is a true artisan. Absolutely does beautiful work. Glad to see you back out and about and harassing people there, Mr. Sushi. It is a wonderful thing to see. Always enjoy any interaction I have with you and with your content. It's wonderful. If you are a member of the Shackleman Club, there is Shackleman as a discount code. Knocks a little bit off for you. I don't have any other real big sales going on right now, but there is that one. I sent the code over to him. But there you are. Code Shackleman. Speaking of Shackleman, we got any Shackleman in the house right now? Or did all the Shackleman leave already? There we go. These are just wonderful, wonderful picks. They're so pretty, you know. So they sit on my display stand. I grab them once in a while. And play with them. But they are so beautiful. Get in line. Anywho, the reason I was asking about the Shacklemans, get added to the list. Yeah, absolutely right. Here is a set that were wonderfully sent to me. They are Peerless Model 300s. These are older, out of production picks. What does the 3D printed tag look like? What 3D printed tag? Oh, yeah, it might only work on that. I don't even remember anymore. You're right. That might be just for their Shackleman products. Just not a very good one. Well, these are an older pair of 300s that are no longer available. You can't buy them. The one thing that I have run into with these is the trying to pick these things. I can shim them, but to get in here and pick these things, it is so freaking stiff and tight. It destroys everything I've got. I mean, I get in here, you know, and this poor pick has seen better days. Holy Toledo. Let me get back to my screen. Where are you? Where'd everybody go? There we go. I mean, I've about bent that poor pick to death. But I get in here, and I get up, and I can feel it. But I cannot open it with a pick. I can shim it, but I can't get in there and do anything. It drives me nuts on these things because they're great. Nice handcuffs, fun to play with. I can shim them, but I can't. I can pick open the double lock, but I can't pick the hasp. So they're kind of driving me crazy that way, but they're very nice. The only other ones I've got is I've got a set of Viper Techs, and then I have a set from another company, Bulldog Tactical. I haven't tried a ball pick. I don't have a ball pick. So I might have to get a ball pick so I can try that out. But yeah, everything I've tried so far and I've stuck in there, it just eats it. It just destroys it. I actually broke my 3D printed handcuff key on that lock, or on those handcuffs. It actually spun the glue loose and pulled it right out. Try swinging back off the post. So you're saying come in here, right off the, come on, and then come up here off the post. Yeah, like that, right? That's what you're talking about? Yeah. So I kind of got that one right, like a sweeping motion. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do on most of them. The one, kind of. The other one, I come up off of the post. See, there I got it. But man, it is a stiff, stiff shackle. It is crazy. I do in my store. I haven't typed one out yet for me to use. And I don't want to pull out one that, I would be selling to somebody and do anything to it. One of these days I need to pull a set just for myself. But man, I've got so many sets going anymore. It's almost getting crazy. The wife gets mad at me all the time. She's like, how many other things do you have? How many do you need? But yeah. It's easier done holding them in my hand like that, but you put them on and try and pick it like that. Oof. Those handcuffs are rough, man, because they are just, and the tolerances are so tight. They're really something. They're nice. Really like them. Yeah, I've had fun with the handcuffs. I need to go look. I think there's what is it? We up to the P7 challenge. So I need to go hit that up yet. Try that out. I need to go through all of my inventory and see what I need to order. Yeah, that Shackleman set's pretty slick. I think I have, I don't know, I think I have like 2 sets left in stock over in my stuff. That says I've got 4 of them. No, 2. 2 left in the Workman Brown case, nothing in black. Let's see here. All right. I'm having a struggle bus today. 007. Yeah, I think I've done that one. That one was kind of fun. I think the one he has now is with some special way of using a paper clip. I need to go back and look at what Mr. Coxey had out there. But I think I can handle that one. Might not be on these Peerless cuffs that I've got. I've tried many different ways with a paper clip on those, and it just destroys them. It just isn't strong enough to be able to move that hasp in there. I don't think I have the, I don't know what the Pumpkin King is. Now I have this one. Is that that's one of his rakes. But I don't know what that one is. I know the dog legs work amazing in all of my cuffs, but I don't dare take them after these just because it's so stiff. I don't want to destroy a pair. You know, see, that's too tight. I can't hardly get that even in there. So, oh. But yeah, that's one from Newhouse. It's an interesting little rake. Like it. It's a neat one. I wouldn't mind. I need to get with him and get some of his other ones. I do have one of his pry bars to use as a giveaway item one of these days. Going on the road for a bit, Mr. G Key Man. Will you drive safe? Be careful out there. Yep, I've opened my other ones with bobby pins. I've done that. I've picked with bobby pins. I've shimmed with bobby pins. Yeah. I need to work out something with him and get a hold of some of his other pick profiles to try out. I have one of his pry bars that I carry with me every single day. It's amazing how much they get used. I added a little clip on here because it wanted to come loose on me, so I added that. And then I also 3D printed a cap. I left it with a seam. I didn't have it randomize the seam, so I don't know if you can see that, because that shows me the lineup, because it's actually angled inside of here to match. So that way it wedges on there pretty well, and I can carry that sucker around and it doesn't come apart, because otherwise with that, tear that crap out of the bottom of your pockets. So I added a 3D printed cap to it. Yeah, love it. Yeah, it's the king and queen set. They're both rakes, right? The king and queen set, if I remember right. He's a raker. If I remember right, those are both rakes. I do a little raking, but not a lot, because I'm just not real good at it. Yeah, the dog legs reach into those really well, and especially if you go with like the heavy dog leg. There we go. Rather than the standard, because it's got a little more strength to it. Works really well in the handcuffs. That design reaches back in pretty well. So yeah, they work really well. I really like them. Like them a lot. See, I think I already put them all away, but even this oddball one here, even my oddball prototype, I don't know if he'll work in here either. Yeah, no. See, part of the problem that I had on these first ones that I first made is this tip is too wide. So, like in some locks, it's actually too wide to fit the keyway. So we had to narrow it down a little bit. Yeah, I want to get them. I want to try them out. Those king and queen set that he's got. They look like they'd be pretty cool. Look like they'd be a lot of fun. Right, that's kind of me too. You know, I printed out a lockpick stand for my pretty stuff to go on. So I've got a couple of the sparrows, the monkey paw, the warlock, I think is what they call this one, and then my set from Mr. Runesmith. There we go. I think that just turned out pretty nice. Nice little stand to hold them all. Get that set back. The lovely little leather pouch that he made to hold those picks, but man, they're just too beautiful to hide them away in a case. But the case is amazing, and I love the fact that he did gray, right? Yeah. Well, that's kind of it, right? That's even with this one. Like I said, I don't know what he called that one. Is that the Bigfoot, maybe? It's got like an elephant trunk style head on the back end of the rake. And that's a nice rake. I like it. It's a little different. It's 20 thousandths, I think, but it's very effective. It does the job. Awesome little unit. And then so you can come through and you can scrub with the rake and then flip it over and do your single pin picking. Very nice. You know, I'm not a fan of using those wide handled picks. Again, I like handles. I'm a handle snob. But I like to get my hands on them just for the artwork because they're beautiful. The only thing, come on guys, put it on both sides of the pick. But that's all right. I get these handles printed out for them. We'll see. Coffee is crucial. Yes, coffee is crucial. I sat here and drank an entire pot, so I'm going to have to end my live here pretty soon, or I'm going to burst at the seams. But yeah, there you go, guys. Coffee is king. Yeah. There's so many great picks out there. There really are. There's a ton of cool stuff, a lot of neat stuff to play with and try out and use. It's amazing. You know, I was playing with this little Peterson today. Playing with wafers and wafer jigglers. A little bit of everything, right? Lock handcuff tool. Oh, I should put that in. So see, here's what I did. I used one of these little polycarbonate cases, and that has all of my goodness for handcuffs in it. And I made sure when I made that 3D handle that it was sized to fit. So again, grab one case. It's got all the stuff I need for that in there. I'm a Black Rifle coffee snob myself. I love my Black Rifle. Good stuff. I just might have to go take this kit with me. Ooh, I got to grab my calipers, do a little measuring, and then go do a little drilling. I think I'm going to buy a new caliper. I have this one. This one's not a bad caliper. This Hornady. I take the battery out of it because what I found is even with it turned off, it drains the battery out and it'll be dead. But my father-in-law has a Mac tool company caliper he's looking to get rid of, so I might have to buy that one from him. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Because I want to try and see where I'm at here. 4.16. Yeah, about got that about as centered as I'm probably going to be able to get it. And then let's go this way. From there to there. 81.55. So what's 81.55? Yeah, I got me the Peterson tool. $40.77. 40. Lock you down. I know it went out just a hair, but we'll see where I'm sitting. Got my drool all over it. How close did I come to center? Man, I tell you what. I think I got her. I think it's already where it needs to be. Yeah, so I take this and I can turn it off. And if I don't pull the battery out, give it a week, I'll go pull it out, use it, and it's dead. Right. Oh, I love my Black Rifle. My favorite one is, what do they call it? Blackbeard? It's a dark roast. Oh, stuff is amazing. Stuff is amazing. All right. There. So, I think that is what I'm probably going to go do here in a minute. Go dig out my little drill press and see if I can't punch some holes in these. I need to measure up. I think, are they in here? Yeah. This was my lovely milk set. They were kind enough to throw in extra Chicago screws that I think, I don't know if they'll be deep enough. So if they don't work, I'll have to see if I can find where I can go buy some. Holy Toledo. You know, the joys of not having fingernails. You can't get into these little Ziploc bags worth a hoot. But I have a feeling, I don't know, these might be too shallow. These might be too shallow. Come on, get in the bag. Get in my belly. Oh, wait. Wrong show for that. They might work. That might be the trick. If I put you together, I don't think so though. I think it's gonna be too many picks for that to fit. It might. Or at least if I just drop it down and remove one pick out of there, it'd work. Which one would you remove? I don't know. Do I need 3 rakes in there? Yeah, maybe. Half diamond, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what'll fit. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drill that out. I'm going to put it together with that little bad boy. And we'll see what we get. I should have put them back in here before I shipped them off, huh? Should have gave the case as well with the picks. I have a French press upstairs. I use it once in a while. Most of the time, I don't take the time for that. I'm usually in too much of a hurry. But yeah, I do have one. So there's something else. I wonder, where do I have my other one? Where? Here it is. I believe it is in here. Yeah. So the good guy is over. So how beautiful is that? Chef knife. Logoed up. Yeah. Ooh, the little door shim. Now, here's the cool thing with the door shim. Here's your traditional door shim. This is the Sparrows version. I'm not a fan of this one. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a better point like that. I've run into issues trying to get this back behind things. Don't care for that one much. They could improve that tool quite a bit. Mick, get after it. Don't need to fix it. I like that one at the sharper end. But see if you notice, see the size difference? That's on purpose. I got Aaron to custom make me 2 of these that are just slightly smaller. And the reason I wanted that is to get them to fit into a case that I had better. The other one is just a little too wide to fit properly. Now, see, that fits in this case, but I don't remember what case it was, but it didn't fit quite like I wanted. So I asked him if he could downsize a couple for me. So I got a couple of them. But then I got that. And that, I added the 550 cord on them. Give you a little pull handle, which is marvelous. Marvelous thing to have on those. But get them to fix this. It's a decent tool. It's heavy enough. It's stout enough. That end just sucks. In my humble opinion, for how I would utilize that tool. Anyway, it sucks. All right. Well, that's what I've got for you, folks. I appreciate each and every one of you coming here and hanging out. Please hit the like, if you would, on your way out. And I hope every one of you has a most marvelous and wonderful holiday weekend. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your family. Don't forget to give them all loves, hugs, and kisses, because you just never know. All right, folks. Hasta la bye-bye. We will catch you next time.